A forensic pathologist hired by Jeffrey Epstein's family is claiming that his death was not a suicide, but that he was murdered. Cost us $250,000. Everybody has a crazy conspiracy for this fella's death. Oh, the Clintons had him killed. Trump had him killed. The Russians did it. Anything but the boring, likely story that he broke his own neck trying to masturbate with a belt.
The Scripps National Spelling Bee has announced a change to next year's contest after this year's Spelling Bee ended in an 8-way tie. The new change? Knives.
The most interesting thing about this whole impeachment is Mike Pence, because if Trump's out, he's going to be the president. So every time Trump is yelling on TV, like, impeach this, if you impeach me, it's going to be a disaster, Pence got to be thinking, well, I wouldn't call it a disaster. I mean, how does that not make him feel bad personally? That'd be like if I told Lauren, you can't fire me, then some racist would be doing update by himself. New York City gyms will also return to full capacity, though they still recommend social distancing from that old guy powdering his balls.
It was announced that North Korea has banned its citizens from having mullets or wearing skinny jeans in yet another attempt to cancel Morgan Wallen.
A dog in England started a house fire after he jumped up on the counter and accidentally turned on the microwave. Okay, but if it was such an accident, how come the microwave had a cat in it? Miller has been accused of promoting white nationalism in a series of 900 emails he sent to Breitbart. Isn't it funny that it's always guys who look like this that are promoting white supremacy? He looks like he dresses up as his mother to commit knife murders. I feel like if you're going to be a white supremacist, you should look like Colin. At least.
A staircase in the Bronx that was featured in the movie Joker has become a major tourist attraction, especially among couples where the girlfriend has no say.
Police in Florida are searching for a man who stole more than $12,000 worth of Leonard Skinner memorabilia. Wow, $12,000 worth? So all of it?
And Beto O'Rourke announced he's dropping out of the 2020 presidential race. Said Beto, "Ay caramba, no hay presidente para mí." Startup airline Boom Supersonic is hoping to eventually fly passengers anywhere in the world in 4 hours or less for just $100. So get ready to fly fast and cheap on the only airline named after the sound of an explosion.
Marjorie Taylor Greene announced that she is engaged to Brian Glenn, a pro-Trump pundit for Real America's Voice. And I just want to see the size of the rock that guy must be smoking. Jeff Bezos' rocket company, Blue Origin, is auctioning off one seat on the first flight of its passenger rocket. Wow. Why are all these rich white people trying to go to space? Look, if there's any Martians watching this, when you see a bunch of foreign ships pull up on your land, take it from a black dude, don't get on them. Unless you want to be a Martian with the last name Washington.
Police in Florida arrested a man in a local Target for masturbating with an Olaf doll. Worse, he let it go. Now, I think it's weird to use an Olaf doll because most people just use their Hans. Freak it up now, Colin Jost.
A new museum has opened in London called the Vagina Museum, which focuses on destigmatizing female anatomy. And if you're planning a trip, remember, it's closed 1 week a month. Star Wars surprised fans by featuring a gay kiss, which seems pretty tame considering the first movie had incest.
Well, this will get you back. A German woman is under investigation after she was told to leave a tram for not having a ticket, and she sprayed the worker with her breast milk. And the worst part was the worker just stood there, mouth wide open. Okay. Health officials are reporting a surge in winter vomiting disease, which is better known as SantaCon. I love that the president lost his train of thought and someone in the crowd had to remind him his train of thought was eggs. Sorry, eggs! As you can see from the sign behind him, the theme of the rally was lower prices, bigger paychecks, which was much better than his original economic message, not my fault, sell your blood. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo announced that Broadway could reopen on September 14th, except for the new musical about Cuomo's handling of the pandemic, Nursing Homa.
A video has gone viral of a runaway horse in New York City galloping down a highway near JFK Airport. And good news, he made his flight. I thought you'd like that more.
IBM announced that it has created the world's smallest and most powerful microchip. Not now.
Andrew Giuliani, who is the child of Rudy Giuliani and I'm going to say Gary Busey, announced that he's running for governor of New York and claimed he spent 5 decades in politics despite the fact he's only 35 years old. You know, I didn't know you could get brain damage when your father drinks during a pregnancy.
A new study finds that cats actually bond with people like dogs do, but they're too aloof to show it, which is why I named my cat Dad.
A New Jersey woman has filed a lawsuit against McDonald's claiming that a burger wrapper she was given was smeared with excrement. In fairness, she ordered the number 2.
The CDC said that a number of new studies show that the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines are effective against new variants of COVID. The CDC also said that the Johnson & Johnson vaccine is trying really hard, you guys. Police say that a woman who went missing nearly 6 months ago was found in a tent in a forest in Utah living off grass and moss. Authorities believe the woman either had mental health issues or had read an article on Goop.
South Dakota's governor is defending a new anti-meth campaign which features the tagline, "Meth, we're on it," which isn't as bad as North Dakota's ad campaign, "Cocaine, we cracked it."
The New York Metropolitan Opera announced that singer Placido Domingo has stepped down after accusations of sexual misconduct. He will be replaced by his far less sexually aggressive understudy, Flacido Domingo. Beaches in southwestern France have been shut down after mysterious bricks of cocaine keep washing up on shore, prompting questions like which beaches and where exactly. A new law has been proposed in New York City banning the sale of the delicacy foie gras, which is traditionally made by force-feeding ducks, though in New York it's made whenever a pigeon falls into boiling hot dog water. Astronauts on the International Space Station successfully created meat using a 3D printer, and after eating it, they created a 4th D, diarrhea.
A civil rights group has added 36 new symbols to its database of symbols used by white supremacists, including the OK hand gesture, a moon wearing sunglasses, and of course this photo. Experts have debunked claims that an unwanted pregnancy can be terminated with high doses of vitamin C. Well, that's the last time I asked a woman to stay over for breakfast, Colin. The NBA slam dunk contest was won by Mac McClung, a 6'2" white man who has only appeared in 2 NBA games, which is just a terrible way to end Black History Month.
California Governor Gavin Newsom, who asks his barber for the American Psycho, he has announced a complete reopening plan that critics are saying is just a distraction from the governor's many scandals. It's a move that has other governors asking, did it work? Speaking of, Donald Trump and Melania Trump have launched a website dedicated to, quote, preserving the magnificent legacy of the Trump administration. And it will honor the most lasting part of Trump's legacy by giving your computer an uncontrollable virus. The Senate confirmed Ketanji Brown Jackson, making her the first black woman to serve on the Supreme Court. I'll drink to that, said Brett Kavanaugh. Justice Jackson was honored Friday at a White House ceremony and said, "We have come a long way toward perfecting our union," which is a direct quote from Ben Affleck's proposal to J-Lo. Republican Senator Tom Cotton, who wants everyone to cool it with the long neck jokes, said he believes Supreme Court Justice Jackson would have defended the Nazis. Worse, he meant it as a compliment.
Senator Mitch McConnell, seen here watching the Oscars in memoriam package, reportedly said that his no vote on Ketanji Brown Jackson's Supreme Court nomination was not based on race or gender, but on Ketanji's refusal to answer his question, "Can I touch your hair?"
Health officials say that the annual Gridiron Club dinner in Washington, D.C. became a COVID super spreader event with more than 50 high-ranking officials getting infected. The problem was a lot of people took off their masks during the post-dinner orgy.
You can't do that.
Picture.
Can't do that.
Yeah. Picture really paints a picture.
The Senate passed the Respect for Marriage Act, which solidifies federal protections for interracial marriages. Okay, but if I marry a white lady, who's going to protect me from my mother?
Yesterday, President Biden issued a historic proclamation for Indigenous Peoples Day. Biden made the announcement just moments after his staff talked him out of wearing the headdress. Indigenous Peoples Day, by the way, will be observed simultaneously with Columbus Day. And this just in, Columbus Day has forced Indigenous Peoples Day to move to a worse day.
It's just
Taylor Swift gave a commencement address at NYU's graduation ceremony this week because college is a lot like breaking up with Taylor Swift. You're still going to be paying for it decades later.
Rich parents across the country are reportedly stocking up on black market baby formula, which I assume is formula that was supposed to go to black markets.
There's growing support to move the first Democratic primary from Iowa to South Carolina, but why would you just move it to another boring state? You know, start the primaries with a bang in Florida. Right? Instead of watching a politician eat a corn dog at the Iowa State Fair, imagine Pete Buttigieg smoking meth, shirtless at Gatorland, as he battles for the state's key demographic, grandmas under 30. Right? You know, at the end of the day, Florida may not give us FDR or JFK, but it will definitely give us HPV. It was reported that a yacht in the Strait of Gibraltar was sunk after a group of orcas attacked it. Nice try, orcas, but we're never releasing the prisoners. A growing number of high-end luxury apartment buildings around the country are offering new amenities, including IV drips to help recover from hangovers. And if that sounds appealing, learn more at Alcoholics Anonymous.
Federal jury has found Oath Keepers leader Stuart Rhodes guilty of seditious conspiracy for his actions on January 6. Rhodes plans to appeal the verdict because he feels the trial, like his vision, was very one-sided. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene,
You're evil!
plans to come to New York on Tuesday to protest Trump's indictment because apparently it takes her 3 days to put on her Joker makeup. A new poll shows that supporters of President Biden and Donald Trump are sharply divided over where they get their news from. People who support Biden are more likely to get their news from newspapers and mainstream media, while Trump supporters get their news from T-shirts. It was announced that both Boomer Esiason and Phil Simms are leaving CBS's The NFL Today. The former quarterback said they want to spend more time figuring out which one is which.
A new study has found that one way to reduce greenhouse gas emissions caused by meat products is adopting a nose-to-tail diet of eating every part of the animal. So get ready for the all-new McHoof.
Former President Trump announced that he is writing a book about alleged voter fraud in the presidential election. The book will contain 8,000 commas and no periods.
Right-wing election denier Doug Mastriano, whose face appears to be photoshopped onto a hot dog, won the Pennsylvania Republican primary for governor and said if he's elected, he would be so far to the right, he would make Ron DeSantis look like a centrist. Instead of what DeSantis looks like now, my dad watching me in the School Musical. Matt Gaetz, who looks like all the dudes from American Pie combined, reportedly sent $900 on Venmo to an alleged sex trafficker who then forwarded that same exact amount to 3 young women in payments labeled tuition and school, which, if true, would make him the only congressman actually helping with student loans. It was announced that actor Andy Serkis will star in and direct a new Lord of the Rings movie focusing on Gollum, and unfortunately, his Challenger-style relationship with Frodo and Sam. This year's most popular baby names for boys were Liam and Noah. Great, another generation of pussies.
It was reported that at least 139 people around the country have said they became sick after eating the breakfast cereal Lucky Charms. Well, 1 or 2 people getting sick could be a coincidence, but 139? That's tragically suspicious. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
A personal injury attorney in Florida allegedly drove her car into 4 people. Said the attorney, "Have you been injured in an accident?"
It's a dumb joke. A growing number of black men feel like the Trump and Biden campaigns are not actually trying to forge true relationships and just want their votes. Yeah. During a new interview with ABC News, Steve Bannon called himself the voice of MAGA and also the face of gout.
As punishment for slapping Chris Rock, the Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Sciences has banned Will Smith from attending the Oscars for 10 years. But is that a punishment? He can still be nominated and even win an award. He can even go to the after party. He just doesn't have to attend the 4-hour ceremony where someone is definitely going to make fun of his wife again. Honestly, I think a real punishment would be to make Will Smith host next year's Oscars. Because trust me, nothing will make you question your choices in life more than hosting an award show.
I loved it.
RuPaul harshly criticized lawmakers who support banning drag shows, calling them stunt queen politicians. And let me just say, hallelujah, girl. I gotta serve realness on this one. These dusty breeders are resting on ugly, and I am gagging on it. And I'm sorry, guys, before the show, I switched from red to champagne.
Oh, boy. The FAA revealed that Donald Trump's Boeing 757 clipped a parked plane when it landed in Florida. But the good news is Donald Trump flies around in a Boeing, so.
President Biden announced that he's raising tariffs on Chinese electric cars to 100%. Unfortunately, Chinese electric cars is just what Biden calls Mario Kart.
President Biden President Biden unveiled his $2 trillion infrastructure plan, which some Democrats are calling the New Deal. But I thought we weren't allowed to make fun of his stutter. Biden plans to pay for his infrastructure plan by raising taxes on corporations and the wealthy, which, yeah, sounds like a great idea, but it leaves me with one big question. How do I hide my money?
A new report shows that New Jersey has the second worst roads in the country, while the worst roads are the ones that go into New Jersey. The National Brotherhood of Skiers is pushing for greater representation of black people in winter sports, which are predominantly white. Huh, so it seems like someone's a little jealous that we took their precious dunk contest. Before her testimony, Stormy Daniels agreed not to describe Trump's genitalia in court after she was offered hush money by the jury. But then Florida Senator Rick Scott appeared in court to support Trump, so in a way, we did get to see what Trump's penis would look like.
The late Maya Angelou has become the first black woman featured on The Quarter, which is not what black people mean when we demand change.
Google is claiming that Apple's practice of using blue bubbles in their iMessage app to highlight other Apple users leads to peer pressure and bullying of Android users. While Apple says Android users could easily solve the problem by not being so dumb and poor. Senator Lindsey Graham, who gives this exact same look at the urinal, created a controversy on Twitter by suggesting that Russians should end the war in Ukraine by assassinating Vladimir Putin. It is a shocking, disgusting example of Lindsey Graham being kind of right about something.
Germany is now joining the EU to send arms to Ukraine, which is the first time Germany has ramped up military production since that little 6-year gap in their history books.
Well, we're now at the point where at every press conference, the president's asked, will there be a nuclear war? A journalist asked President Biden if we should be worried about nuclear war, and he said no. Because what's he going to say? Hell yeah, man. Start digging a bunker, Jack. It's like when a little kid asks you where Grampy's going to go when he dies. You know, obviously you're going to say heaven. But based on some of the stuff Grampy said, you know hell is also on the table. Some military experts have been surprised that despite having superior firepower, the Russian army has been slowed by aging equipment, poor motivation, and inept leadership. So basically, they're the Lakers. Pro-Palestinian protesters walked out of Jerry Seinfeld's commencement address at Duke University, and I think that's disgraceful. During these difficult times, it's important to support our Jewish friends. That's why the only chant you'll hear from me is Free Weinstein. People in Paris with disabilities are saying that the city has not fulfilled its promise to make it universally accessible before this summer's Olympics. And officials admit they're having some safety issues with the new Eiffel Tower wheelchair ramp.
An Apple factory in China is expected to cut production of iPhones by 6 million in response to ongoing worker protests. The workers' main demand is more playtime. I'm shocked too, guys. I'm so shocked.
It was reported that Sylvester Stallone will star in a new TV series playing an Italian mob boss from Kansas City in what is an absolute nightmare scenario for the closed captioning guy. A new study finds that regular use of marijuana may disrupt people's sleep. That's adorable, said cocaine.
Upcoming TV special starring actor James Vanderbeek will attempt to raise awareness about prostate cancer testing. It's called Dawson's Crack. The Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show has selected a miniature poodle named Sage as the winner of the title Best in Show, while the loser is once again every human participating in this event. Nearly 100,000 pounds of sliced prosciutto is being recalled for not being inspected properly, which is weird because I thought prosciutto inspector was just an Italian slur for gay. Prosciutto inspector? No? All right.
Two more. And
This is a really rough episode for me, Colin.
An 11-day cruise is being offered next year from Miami to the Caribbean, in which passengers will be nude. The cruise will offer pickleball, cornhole, and also games.
President Biden proposed his budget that would help fund Medicare with a 25% tax on billionaires. Ha! Take that, Rihanna.
Organizers of the Oscars said they changed the color of the arrival carpet from red to champagne so the mood would be more mellow. But I don't know, switching from red to champagne usually turns me into a full-on bitch. ChatGPT has released a new voice assistant feature inspired by Scarlett Johansson's AI character in Her, which I've never bothered to watch because without that body, what's the point of listening? Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, seen here watching a child fall into the gorilla enclosure. McConnell has agreed to a deal to temporarily raise the debt ceiling through early December. And then at that point, it'll be almost Christmas, and McConnell will be busy going around to Toys for Tots bins and gluing them shut.
President Biden has recommended that South Carolina become the first state to vote in the Democratic primaries to give black voters more of a voice in selecting the 2024 candidate. Not to be outdone, Donald Trump also plans to give black voters a voice with this puppet.